Well, in just 14 hours, the polls open in the Georgia primary, and tonight the candidates for governor are making their last-minute pitches. An exclusive 11 Alive poll released last week shows 27% of Republicans were still undecided, with Casey Cagle leading the pack, followed by Brian Kemp and Hunter Hill. 11 Alive's Doug Richards walks us through the key differences among the 5 frontrunners that could sway the voters.
Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle was at DeKalb Peachtree Airport after daybreak, heading toward an airplane and a day-long tour of Georgia's media markets. With 12 years in the state's #2 job, Cagle says voters have come to know him as a reliable conservative with a pro-business background.
It's not about who's got the biggest gun or who's got the biggest truck. It really is about, who has the vision and who has the experience.
That experience has a downside. His Republican opponents have slammed Cagle as an out-of-touch career politician. Secretary of State Brian Kemp is among them, though Kemp has spent much of his adult life in politics.
I'm so conservative.
Kemp calls himself a politically incorrect conservative who has used his personal gun collection to set design TV commercials. He rarely mentions security hiccups that have raised questions in the Secretary of State's office during his term. Kemp also led his family on an airborne election eve tour of Georgia.
But that's the voters' choice. But we've given them, I think, a good conservative message to choose from. And once we get this race down to 2 people, I believe that choice will become clear.
Hunter Hill, Clay Tippins, and Michael Williams want to leapfrog Kemp into a runoff with Cagle. Williams, a state senator, has that much-discussed deportation bus and was an early backer of candidate Donald Trump. Clay Tippins is a former Navy SEAL businessman with no experience in government. Former state senator Hunter Hill says he is a pro-gun former Army Ranger, yet other Republicans have clobbered him for not being pro-gun enough. Our poll showed that undecided Republican voters are evenly represented among all levels of income, education, and regions of Georgia. But it also indicates that moderate Republicans are having or have had a harder time deciding than those who consider themselves conservative, which is not a big surprise in a field where no candidate has embraced the label of moderate. Jeff.
Doug, we look forward to tomorrow night to see how all of this plays out toward November. Thank you.